Hi, this is going to be an important channel update. Because of my birthday celebration, this July 20, I decided to create this secondary campaign. That is, I am running the Ravenhawk campaign, and I am running the short campaign featuring the gratuitous anime gimmick role-playing game with Rick, with Kevin, and Alberto. I thought it was going to be like a one-time thing, or perhaps like an sporadic thing, like, oh, I'm going to be running this short campaign, and once it's over, that's it. But I realized that I actually managed to organize my schedule quite well. So I am going to attempt to do my very best in having two ongoing campaigns, always. Two ongoing online campaigns, actual plays. And so I will tell you more about that in a few moments. But first, this also means that I need to sacrifice a few things when it comes to the channel. Within my schedule, as I was organizing things, I noticed that I have my time. That is, when it comes to hobby activities, putting my regular life, my duties, my work to the side, I have my hobby activities. So I was organizing that hobby aspect, and I was like, oh, I have this time to play video games, I have this time to read, I have this time to paint, I have this time to play my session with the physical table. I have this time for this campaign online, the Ravenhawk campaign. I have this other time for the Zodiac Ring campaign, and suddenly I realized, but this is going to reduce my solo time, my solo role-playing time. For those of you that do not know, I have mentioned this in other videos. I mostly got into solo role-playing because of those RPGs that my players at the physical table did not want to enjoy. They did not enjoy those themes, those systems, those settings. So solo was a way for me to experience those adventures, scenarios, settings, etc., as well as keep on practicing different player character and game master skills. But now that I have found people to play online, I thought it would be much better to play those games online. There are people out there that want to play all sorts of role-playing games. There are actually role players out there, you just have to look for them. In the case of the Ravenhawk campaign, I actually spent quite a while to gather Big Bad RPG, Eli, RPG Grandma. But now the group is set with actual role players. So there is always someone out there that wants to roleplay the system that you also want to roleplay. So I am going to stop running my solo campaigns. That is the Shinobigami solo campaign that I was beginning, my From the Ashes solo campaign, because if I want to, one of these days I will be running a Shinobigami game, From the Ashes campaign, and that's it. I think that when it comes to most solo role players, they need to learn how to roleplay with people first, because there are so many awful solo sessions where they are not role-playing at all. They are still playing the same guessing game that they play with non-role players. In tabletop role-playing games, you roleplay. You are not having a conversation. You are not telling a story. You are not an actor acting. You can act if you want as part of the roleplay, but you are describing your character's actions in the present. That's it. And as a game master, you are describing the scene, the encounter, the non-player characters, the objects. That's it. The game master presents the situation. The players interact with that encounter, that situation. Something happens, and so forth it goes. That's roleplay. It's not, can my character do this? Can my character, the typical. Or the game master, what do you do? What are your plans? The game master does not exist in the game world. He shouldn't be having conversations with his players. And when it comes to solo role playing, instead of using the oracles, the game master emulators, as ways to promote roleplay within the session, in your own personal time, playing that solo RPG, you turn it into a guessing game, 20 questions game. I am going to make a video perhaps next week where I tell you how to actually roleplay again. I had made another video, but this time I'm going to be providing some tools, some more specific information on how to actually roleplay a solo role-playing game. Because there are still people that do not know how to do it. It's a great way to, not only if you enjoy solo gaming, which should be considered a separate thing, it's also a way to explore systems that you have never tried before. So I'm going to be making that video, but when it comes to my solo content, I am going to limit it to reviewing Game Master emulators, sandbox, solo toolsets, all of that. Or solo role-playing games as well, like my recent review of Echoes of the Unknown. Really good horror journaling solo game, Echoes of the Unknown. So moving on from that, now this is another big announcement. I have noticed that when it comes, for example, the lessons that I have learned when preparing for the Ravenhawk campaign, it takes a while to gather the right people. So from now on, I am going to be making these interest gauge videos with a lot of time beforehand. That is, in about 3 weeks, more or less 3 weeks, I am going to start a new online campaign. So this is my summons to you, those that are interested. This is going to be a type of, it's not exactly, well, some could consider it isekai. It's not all anime. In fact, the role-playing game is not exactly anime in its aesthetics. But if you have seen Sword Art Online, .hack, all of those stories where the characters are trapped within a video game, an MMORPG, a multiplayer massive online RPG, massive multiplayer RPG, well, MMORPG. It's that situation. The system is called Infinity's Edge. Now, there is something that I frown upon when it comes to this RPG. The publisher piecemeals the rulebook. Things that should have been contained in a single rulebook are spread about in 3 books. And you have like a few supplements as well. So that's awful, terrible business practice. Not for the publisher, because the publisher is going to be taking money from people that purchase that, such as me. But because I like the system, I decided that it was worthwhile, but definitely not good value. A lot of people are going to be purchasing the core book of Infinity's Edge, and they are going to be so disappointed. It feels so lackluster, almost like the beta version. And if you wanted the additional classes, the level up information, the spells, the other species, you have to purchase the other 2 books. What a ripoff! Terrible! But I am going to be running this RPG, this online campaign, because like I said, I like the system, I like the setting, but this doesn't mean that you have to purchase the book or the books. If you want to, if you're someone like that wants to collect RPGs, sure, you can purchase the core book and we could play it like that, but it is my intention to run this online campaign without people having to purchase the core book. I am going to be putting the necessary information to play the game in the Discord, in my Discord server, in the channels that were created for this online campaign. So I have already talked to a few people about this idea, and they have shown a lot of interest when it comes to playing this online campaign. Just to give further details, you're going to be beta testers in a new online RPG, Infinity's Edge. This is a virtual reality role-playing game where you are basically connected to a machine. You are put in a coma type of, or rather like a cryogenic sleep sort of state, and you are living in the video game world with all of the things that you would expect from an MMORPG. That is, you have your health bar and your mana bar and your stamina bar and you regenerate those bars when you rest after fighting. Or during combat, you can actually regenerate your stamina by taking like a small rest during the fight, catching your breath. There are other things such as your individual skills leveling up through the game. That's an important consideration. During this RPG, because of the MMORPG experience that it is trying to communicate or express through the gameplay, you will have to feel comfortable with the idea of constantly leveling up your skills, not all the time, but let's say you finish a combat encounter and suddenly you leveled up your melee skills, your ranged combat skills, etc. So you have to be comfortable with the idea of writing maybe the combat finishes, the combat reaches a conclusion for that encounter, and I'm going to tell you something like, this and that skill has leveled up by this much, and you're going to be like, okay. If you're comfortable with that, I think you will like the campaign. And there are also a lot of meta game aspects, in the sense that, or rather meta setting, that you are playing in this virtual environment, but you will get to know what the people do in real life, their professions. Some of them are good, some of them are going to be evil. Perhaps you can even stop, and this is part of the... I won't mention any more details because spoilers, but the things that you accomplish in the game could have a powerful impact in real life. That is, in the real life of the fictional world, not in a real life. So if you like that sort of experience, I think you will enjoy this online campaign. As I have said, I have already talked to a few people about this, and there are 3 potential interested players already. I am going to, at most, if there are a lot of people interested in playing, I'm going to be accepting up to, I think, up to 5 people maximum. And I'm going to be very strict or severe about who is going to participate, of course. I'm not even going to give you the guidelines, but as a must-have, you must have a decent camera, decent microphone, give priority to the audio if possible. If you have like a microphone that goes no, try to get a microphone that sounds somewhat decent. You need to have videos on your channel, or I need to have known you for a while. I have played with people that didn't have videos, but I have been talking to them for a long time, so they were perfect fine as role players in my sessions. If you don't have videos on your channels, I will have to interview you before that, so we don't run into a Mr. situation. Those of you that know what I am talking about will get the idea. So yes, definitely, and I am looking for role players as always, of course, those that actually role play. No mother may I guessing game, not I will, I want to, no wishing game, I want to, I will, I wish, no. Not in the future, no, in the present. I do this, I do that, my character does this, my character does that. You can roleplay either in first person or third person. It makes sense because you're playing as yourself, and that's another detail. You're going to be role-playing as yourself in this game. So if you're Joe and you participate, it's going to be Joe being a beta tester for this MMORPG. So that's a cool aspect, and that's another cool aspect. In character, you will be able to discuss the bonuses, the skills, the powers that you purchase that you obtain throughout the leveling up process as a player, because it makes sense. Players in MMORPGs, they usually discuss, oh, I've obtained this +1 sword. Oh, I want to level up my skill in this. I want to obtain level in this or that. Oh, my skill trees, etc. So this could be one of the few occasions when speaking about such bonuses, penalties, and whatnot are permissible within the fiction. And you're already in character, because if you're Joe, if you're Bill, if you're Peter, that's who you are in the game. You are Joe, you are Bill, you are Peter, but you are playing with an avatar in an MMORPG. So, like I said, I'm going to be taking a maximum of 5 people. This campaign will begin in about 3 weeks or so. It depends on the people that we obtain. Perhaps no one wants to play yet, and I am looking for players. Maybe it will take a bit more time. Or maybe I obtain players almost immediately. I have like 5 people immediately interested in playing this experience. So definitely let me know in the comments section if you want to participate in this campaign. I am going to be giving priority, that is, even though I am going to be choosing from all of the players, what if someone applies for it and I think, oh, this player is perfect for the game, you are in this campaign. So somebody could take your spot. So definitely apply as fast as possible. Like I said, you don't need to purchase the core book. I'm going to be putting all the information necessary to play the RPG in the Discord server. However, this means that I am going to be taking some shortcuts or summarizing things greatly. I am not going to give you all of the bonuses, all of the details, all of the skills for this or that class or this or that species. I'm going to say something like, these are the species. Species A is this sort of thing. Species B is this type of humanoid. Species C is this, and I'm not going to give you all of the stats, so it's going to be more like based on your preference. If you like lionmen, and there is like a lionman species. Oh, I like lionmen. Choose it. Don't wait for me to give you all of the details about the speed, the bonuses, because I am going to be greatly summarizing the information concerning the spells, the skills, the powers, because otherwise it's going to be too much of a burden on me. So yes, I hope you will find this campaign idea interesting. If you like Sword Art Online, any of the LitRPG books, you know, it's a genre in literature. You have books that feature characters that are in an online game, an MMORPG. It's going to be kind of like that. But definitely apply as soon as possible so that I can start creating the team. And if you have any comments or questions about this campaign, of course, let me know as well. We're going to be as flexible as possible, but most likely we are going to be playing during the weekdays around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, more or less. Perhaps a bit before, perhaps a bit after. We will try to come up with something. Just let me know in the comment section something like, oh, I am interested in this campaign, but I can only play this or that day and during this and that time. Also let me know if you can play it as like a regular thing that is once a week. Well, semi-regular, once a week, or maybe you can only play every other week. I play this week, the next week, no. The next week we play again. Let me know all of your limitations when it comes to schedule, availability, etc. So I hope you found this video informative enough. I hope you found the information about the campaign interesting enough as well. As always, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments about anything, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. And remember, it is better to roleplay and fail in character than not to roleplay and fail as a player. Once again, thank you, and see you later.